Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Everything with Wills and welcome to another video after a very long time. So this video is about directed writing, English language 1123 revised curriculum because so many of my followers, subscribers have requested me to make a video on this topic. So this video is about revised curriculum, directed writing, how to use text A and text B. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy this video, so let's get started. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So let's get started. So today we are going to discuss about directed writing syllabus 2024. This means the students, those who are going to appear in their English language 1123 papers in 2024. As you all know that the syllabus has been revised and that will be with effect from 2024. So this syllabus is going to be, or this paper is going to be entirely new for the students, and there is no past paper. And 2024, this is going to be the first paper, and this will become the past paper for the students in future. So students are very much confused about directed writing because this time in the directed writing, they have two texts, text A and text B, sometime one text. So how they have to use those texts, how they have to write the directed writing, they're very much confused. So let's get started and solve your all problems and confusions. All right. So the directed writing is basically the section one of the writing paper, and writing paper this time is paper two. And this is directed writing is of 25 marks, and you have to write somewhere between 250 to 350 words, and you are suggested to spend 1 hour, though there will be 2 hours given to attempt writing paper for section one and section two both, but it is suggested to spend 1 hour on task one, section one. All right. Now, what type of the questions would come in the directed writing? Candidates read one or two texts totaling approximately 400 to 450 words in the length. They use, develop, and evaluate the information in the text to create a discursive, argumentative, persuasive speech, email, report, letter, or article. Okay, what will you be asked to write? You can be asked to write speech, email, report, letter, or article. Okay, there will be no choice. Any one of these five can come, or you can be asked to write any one out of these five, and you have to write discursive or argumentative or persuasive. Whatever the letter, email, report, or article, you have to write either discursive, argumentative, or persuasive. This that would be given in the question. So this is basically the sample that what type of the text will be given. First, see the question. This is the sample of the question that has been taken from the specimen paper. And now see, read the question. Write a magazine article for young people about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. Now, student has been asked to write an article for a magazine article for young people and about the advantages and disadvantages of traveling to other countries. Now, let's say if you don't have a lot of information about traveling to other countries, you won't be able to write somewhere between 250 to 350 words. So, to make it easy for the students, Cambridge University has decided to give you one or two texts which will be giving you the information about the topic. Now, there are two texts for the help, for the guidance of the students, and text A will be discussing possibly about all the advantages of visiting or traveling to a foreign country, and text B might be discussing about the advantages or disadvantages of traveling to other countries. So it has become very easy, super easy for the candidate now to write whatever he or she has been asked, article, report, letter, email, speech, whatever. It is very easy now because you can take the information from these two texts or one text that will be given by the examiner. You can read, you can underline, you can take out the important information, you can take out all the advantages, all the disadvantages of traveling other countries, and then you can use in your own words. So it has become super easy now. All right. Furthermore, after the question, you will be given two bullets, and now these two bullets are giving you the guidance. The bullet one says evaluate the text, evaluate the ideas and opinion in both texts. You have to evaluate both the text, and bullet two says give your own views based on what you have read in the both text. This means
First of all, you have to evaluate both the text. If there are two texts, if there is one text, you have to evaluate the text. Evaluate means you have to see the advantages and disadvantages, and you have to give your comments on them. You have to reuse the same information in your own words, and then you have to give your comments on them as well. That means evaluate, and then you have to give your opinion in the last paragraph. I suggest my student to make two paragraphs on this bullet one and one paragraph on bullet two. So overall, I suggest my students to write the directed writing in three paragraphs. How? If there is one text or if there are two texts. If there are two texts, in the first paragraph, evaluate the text A, and in the second paragraph, evaluate the text B, and in the third paragraph, give your own opinion about what you have read in text A and text B. But let's say if there is only one text, then how you can divide that one text into two paragraphs? You should discuss all the advantages in one paragraph, then all the disadvantages from the same text in the paragraph number two, and then in the paragraph number three, you can give your own opinion based on what you have read in that paragraph. So this is my suggestion that you can write the directed writing into three paragraphs, which you have to write somewhere between 250 to 350 words, and these are the information that up to 10 marks are available for the content, and then 15 marks are available for the quality of the writing and all that, and this 25 marks task. Now the question arises that how to attempt directed writing. This is the confusion I have seen. Since we did not have any sample or any past papers or any piece of writing high achiever or the piece of writing by the examiner that we can share with our students, that this is the way that you can write the directed writing, this is the way of evaluating text A and text B, or this is a way how you can reuse the information that has been given in the text A and text B. But thank God, the book has been published now by Cambridge, which has given all the instructions for the students. Now it has become super easy for the teachers and the students that how they can use the text A or text B, and if there is only one text, how they can use the information from the text, and what does it mean by evaluate the text, how they can evaluate the text. So let's discuss. I have taken out the information from that Cambridge book, and I'm going to share with you today, and I'm sure that's going to be very, very helpful for you. All right, I have divided the directed writing into three different steps. The first step is that you have to read the text that you have been given. Either it is one text or there are two texts. You have to read the text for the evaluation. This means read the text quickly and see that whether writer is discussing about, or writer is, the attitude of the writer is what writer is supporting the advantages or writer is supporting the disadvantages. Whatever the topic, whatever the text you will be given, that must be discussing about two different strands: advantages and disadvantages, and pros and cons, past or present of something. So whatever the text or text you will be given in the question, that must be discussing two different sides of a topic. So you have to quickly read and see what side the writer is basically supporting. The writer is supporting advantages or disadvantages in those two texts. Mostly there will be advantages and disadvantages that you will be underlining and that you will be using in your directed writing. And the second step is, once you have underlined all the important points in maybe one text or maybe text A and text B, now what you have to do is you have to write, you have to use those information to write a discursive piece of writing, be it a letter, be it a report, article, email, speech. You have to write a discursive piece of writing. How you can write a discursive piece of writing? You can, let's say, in the text, or there are two texts and the texts are about the advantages and disadvantages of technology. You have read text A and text B, and now you have counted the advantages and disadvantages. You find that there are 10 advantages of technology, and there are 15 disadvantages of technology. So you have decided that you're going to support the disadvantages. You're not going to support the advantages because disadvantages are more than the advantages. Now, how can you write piece of writing discursively? This is very simple. What I have made for my students, I said I normally explain my students after seeing the sample that has been given by the Cambridge University in that book, O-level English book, that pick all the advantages, paraphrase them. Do not use the advantages that you have taken from those texts as it is. Pick the advantages one by one, or maybe you can pick two advantages in one sentence, and then counter those advantages if you're against those advantages. How you can counter them? For example, if you have taken one advantage from the text, but you don't support the advantages. Let's say that you have taken one advantage that by technology has made our life very easy. We can find a lot of notes, a lot of the questions, and all the information that we require from internet just in a click. But and now if you this is the advantage that you have taken from the text that you were given. Now how you have to counter if you do not support the advantages, and if you are supporting the disadvantages, you have to pick the advantage from the text and you have to counter it right after that line. How you can counter? But I don't think so, or I do not agree with this to that extent, because all the information that we find on internet is not always true. There are a lot of people that they can make nowadays the website, or they can write blogs, and they can upload. And so the information that we get from internet are not always authentic. But as compared to it, if we read something from the book which has been published and sold in the market, we can get solid information. Now, this is the way that you have countered the advantages. So this depends that what exactly you are supporting. So the first step, you have read the text or two text, you have underlined all the advantages and disadvantages, you have counted that the advantages are more than disadvantages, then support the advantages. You have counted and you found that the disadvantages are more than advantages, then you can support the disadvantages. So whatever you're supporting, if you're supporting the advantages, then you have to counter all the disadvantages which have been given in the text. You have to pick them in your own words. You have underlined, but do not use the same. You have to paraphrase them, mention them in your piece of writing, and counter them side by side. Counter them side by side. And if you're supporting the advantages, use those all advantages that you found in the text in your own words. That's it. You can use those all advantages, but in your own words. This is what we call endorse. You can endorse those advantages that you have read in the text in your own words, adding some information from your own, and all those disadvantages which you think you disagree, then you have to counter. I mean, whatever the strand you disagree, if you are in favor of advantages, then you can mention all the advantages that you have read in the text, but changing its wordings and adding some words by your own, and or some logics by your own. And if you do not, and if you're against the disadvantages, so you have to pick all those disadvantages and add some words from your own. So this is the way that you can discursively write, and your clear stance that which strand you support and why in the last paragraph, which would be the conclusion, which would be the summarization of paragraph number one and paragraph number two. Now, this is something for my students, that how you can evaluate the text in a short. Read the stimulus text, highlight the main points like advantages and disadvantages in that one text or two texts. Consider how convincing each point is. Decide which overall point is to support, like decide whether you're going to support the advantages or the disadvantages. Decide your strength. Think of some of your own ideas to add. Of course, you cannot use all the information that you have underlined in those two texts. You have to add your own words, you have to add your own reasons, logical reasons, or some evidence by your own, and plan a sequence for your points. All right, so now I'm going to share with you the sample that I have taken from the Cambridge book, which has just been published and available in the market, which is Catering the Revised Curriculum 2024. And I'm sure after reading this sample, you will be able to write the directed writing very well. Your all misconception will be clear, and you will be expert of using text A and text B and evaluating them. All right, so this sample has been written by probably one of the students who has been whose task has been selected as the high achiever by the examiner, and that's why it has been given as a sample in the book. That the question is write a magazine article for your school magazine about the use of computers among people of your age. The school magazine is read by student, parents, and teachers. So here is your audience who's going to read this, and the topic is that you have to write an article for your school magazine, and this will be about the use of computers among the people of your age, maybe young people. If you're young, of course, you are attempting, you're appearing in O-level English paper, that means you're young. So use of computers among young people, all right? So here you can see two bullets, and the first bullet always asks you to evaluate the ideas and opinions in the both texts that you have read, if there are two texts. And then the second bullet always asks you to give your opinion and views about whatever you have read in the both texts. So, and then here you will find some, instructions that first, you have to read text A, text B, underline all the advantages and disadvantages of using computers by the young people, and then decide which side you want to favor, which side you want to support. So here is text A, and text A is discussing or describing the disadvantages of modern technology or computers used by the young people, and this is also the part of text A. And this is text B. Text B is basically giving you the advantages of using computers or using technology, and the young people. So what you have to do is you have to read and you have to underline all the disadvantages of using computers and all the advantages of using computers. Once you have decided, then you have to decide whether you have to support the advantages or disadvantages. Now, this is the high achiever sample written by one of the students. What this student has done after reading the text A and text B, he has decided that he should support the advantages. So he started this article as a journal, a very journal start. We live in a world where computers are central to our everyday life. So the first line shows that it's a journal start. It is not showing that the writer is supporting the use of computers by young people, or it is against the topic. But when you keep on reading, you would come to know that the writer has shown his interest in supporting the topic. He is in favor of the computers used by the young people. So what he has done is that he has taken all the advantages and written in his own words all the advantages from text B, which was supporting this one, which was supporting the topic, which was giving the advantages of using the computers. So he has used all the advantages in his own words and added some words or some reasons or some evidences by himself. And then since he was against the disadvantages, so what he has done, he has taken the disadvantages and written in his own words, and he has countered them side by side. He has countered them side by side. For example, if someone says that using of computer is waste of time, and it just gives you it affects on your eyesight. So he has taken that point and he has countered them. He has given the answer of that disadvantage, that basically that is not the disadvantage. This is only the misconception of the people that it is disadvantage. So very simple. He has read text A, text B. He has decided that he's going to support the topic. So he has mentioned all the advantages using his own words. This is what we call the evaluation of the text. He has used all the advantages, but in his own words, and then he has picked those disadvantages from the text, but he has paraphrased and used those disadvantages in his own words, and then he has countered. He has countered all those disadvantages, like he has answered them, he has proved them He has proved that all those disadvantages are basically not the disadvantages. That is only the misconception of the people that these are the disadvantages. And in the last paragraph, he has given a clear cut, uh, you know, his stance. He has shown his stance very clearly. And this last paragraph is basically the summary of this and this paragraph. And also clear cut picture of his stance that he's supporting the advantages. So you can take the screenshot of this page and then you can read it thoroughly. You can read text A, text B, and then you can see that how smartly the student has used the points. You will find this piece of uh, article writing entirely reshaped a new text. You will not find anything, even a single sentence that the student has written as it is. He has only taken or read these text A and text B for ideas. He has taken the ideas from there and he has written entirely a new text. You will not find any of the line copied and pasted here. He has used the ideas from those text in text B and then paraphrased all the advantages and all the disadvantages in his own words. And he was since in the support of the advantages. So he has mentioned these all advantages and arguments. He has given the arguments on all the disadvantages. He has countered the disadvantages and proved them that they are not the disadvantages. And then he has given the conclusion. In the conclusion, he has given a clear picture of his stance. So I'm sure that you would understand now how to write the directed writing, how to use text A and text B and evaluate the text, and how to give your opinion in the last paragraph. All right, this is the book from where I have taken this sample and all the tips that I've shared with you. This book was the most awaited book, and this is now available in the market. You can see that the writers and the publishers, Cambridge, everything is mentioned over here. So you can go and buy this book from the market. The original book will cost you somewhere 4,000 or 5,000, I think, but you can buy the pirated book, which will only cost you 1,500 rupees. And I reckon the pages, the quality of the pirated book is also very good. All right, so thank you very much. If you have any question, you can post them in the comment section. And if you like my video, please share this with your friends, all those who are going to attempt. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel and like to this video. Thank you very, very much for watching.